Zog, it's Gareth. Have you looked at the websites in the last few minutes?
No, I'm online, just doing some bit of work.
Have you heard what's happened?
No.
I should tell you, by the way, I'm recording this now because I've just finished mixing and editing the show, and I was just about to put it up, and I got a text with some very interesting news.
I'm guessing there's been some adjustment to the result?
Yeah, it seems that BMW and Williams are both under investigation for fuel irregularities.
Oh, my God.
And you know what that means, don't you?
It means two drivers who finished ahead of Hamilton would not won World Championship points, which would give Hamilton the World Championship.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Because we've already recorded the show and I'm just going to put it up, you know what I'm going to do?
Go on.
I'm going to put the show up. I'm going to have a lie down.
Okay.
And I may never get up again. This is too exciting. Win, win, win. Yes, ITV gives you the chance to win your very own Formula One driver. Ralph Schumacher's without an F1 drive, so we're giving him away. Just answer this tricky question. Which one of these three drivers will win the F1 World Championship? Will it be A, Lewis Alonso, B, Fernando Raikkonen, or C, Kimi Hamilton? Phone lines are now closed, but you can still earn us lots of money by dialing 000 000 000 000. Calls are charged at £36 a minute. Please ask the permission of Northern Rock before you dial.
Today's edition of Gareth Jones on Speed was recorded under the auspices of the FIA, who were present as observers to ensure equal treatment between Gareth Jones and Zog.
Yeah, that's who we are, Gareth Jones on
Gareth Jones on Zog. No, that's a pay-per-view podcast, which is restricted access only.
This is a live episode of Gareth Jones on Speed, hurriedly put together, I hope it doesn't sound like that, as we mark the fantastic, dramatic finale to the 2007 World F1 Championship. Zog, it was as dramatic a race as the whole season, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, and we've had an amazing season. I mean, I cannot remember a season that's been as exciting as this. All credit to Kimi Raikkonen. What a start! He deserved that championship. But I'm so gutted that Hamilton didn't win it. I mean, I think he should have won it. He deserved it. There were so many things that if they'd just gone differently in the last two races in particular, would have sealed the title for him. And it just didn't go his way. Yeah, I'm gutted.
At this point, we don't know the full reasons for Lewis's mechanical problems during the race, where he lost drive for enough to drop him down to 18th place, and then he fought his way back through the race, all the way up to 7th. Now, if he'd finished 5th, he'd have been world champion. So we were in this wonderful situation of Lewis and perhaps the whole of Britain, and anyone who cares about Formula One perhaps, shouting for any car in front of Lewis to crash. The best bit was Nico Rosberg, wasn't it?
And Rosberg nearly took out. It was Heifeld, wasn't it? Nearly tangling with Heifeld. A couple of times, the two of them could easily have taken each other out. A horrible thing to be kind of wishing misfortune on any driver, but you just couldn't help it. We so wanted Lewis to win.
If you'd been in the room with us, you'd have heard a whole group of people all sitting there going, crash, 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 crash. And I also got a load of text messages. So hang on.
There were updates all the time. I mean, Bobby was sending you texts, and Stephen and Raf. And, read a couple of them out.
There's a group of people who contribute to this programme, including my children who are shouting outside the door at the moment. And we have this constant dialogue between them. At one point, when Lewis was trailing behind everyone so badly, I made the observation that we needed a safety car. Right, absolutely. So I sent a text out to my mates to point that out, and the answers I got are as following. You can probably hear our phones now as we bring them close to the recorder.
I've got a call coming in right now from Stevie.
Go on, let's take the call live. Go on, Zog. Go
on. Stevie, you are live on air on Gareth Jones on Speed. Hang on, I'm going to go hands-free.
I'm speechless. Utterly speechless. What a finish. That was extraordinary.
You owe me a tenner, though.
I can't believe it. Gutting.
It was just as well, given that I've now lost my bet to Keith, given that Kimi won.
Stevie, can I just ask you how much has changed hands between you and Zog over the result of this race? Probably about as much as went into Lewis Hamilton's budget for this season.
I think it's, it must be close. And it's all gone the wrong way. I'm devastated.
Will he do it next year, though?
Of course. Absolutely.
That's all we need to know.
Okay, listen, we better get back to the show. Stevie, I'll give you a buzz back in a minute.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
So, as I was saying before, we were interrupted by phone calls. This is probably going to happen all the way through this show. The first response when I said we needed a safety car came from my mate Bobby Troman, who says, bang on, that's what we need. Then I got an even better response than that, I think. Raphael Perks, who works on the Gareth Jones on Speed website, he responded to say, yeah, but we also, apart from a safety car, we need for him not to pit, talking about Lewis, of course, and we also need for Alonso to explode. Although that would just be a nice bonus. Looking good for Kimi, I reckon. Yeah, you're right at that point. But really, of all the responses we got, my favourite was from Stephen Slater, another motorsport friend of ours, whose response is, no, we don't want a safety car. We need an act of God.
And it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
No, the gods were not on our side. I think the Norse god Thor was protecting Norsemen at this point, I think.
Regarding we need Alonso to explode, I mean, one thing about this season, I think it's... I'm really disappointed with the account that Alonso has given of himself, kind of as a person more than anything else. Not so much as a driver. He's been inconsistent compared to Hamilton. He's been, he's been fantastic on his day. He's put in some magnificent drives. He wasn't as consistent as Hamilton, and to me, therefore, didn't deserve the championship as much. But in the way he's behaved, I think he hasn't behaved like a world champion and like a man that deserved to win it. Lewis did, and so did Kimi. I mean, I think Kimi. All credit to him. He drove like a champion. The car let him down occasionally, but but
he never let Ferrari down. I mean, Chris Dyer, their engineer, said
exactly,
didn't he?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we started the season. If you go back and listen to early episodes of Gareth Jones on Speed, or certainly earlier from 2007, you'll hear that throughout this we've always been huge fans of Kimi Raikkonen, but we've also been a great admirer of Alonso. We at the start of the season we said Alonso's great, he's fantastic, Lewis is wonderful, but he won't quite do it. And yet over the season, two things have happened. First of all, the rise of Lewis and the chance of him winning the championship right from the word go made us become very partisan, became very, very nationalistic, if you like. But then we went off Alonso, not because he was a threat to Lewis, just because of his reaction to Lewis.
Throwing his toys out of the pram, kind of yelling and screaming about how he's not being treated fairly. And, come on, you've got a rookie teammate who's faster than you. You've got to go out there and beat them. You've got to go out there and beat him.
It's your job.
You can't just, complain about not getting treated as number one driver, because you're in a team that, to its credit, will give its drivers equal machinery and let them race. And one of the things that I'm taking away from this season, and like I say, I think this has been one of the best season for that I can remember. My admiration for McLaren and for Ron Dennis has just shot up. I think they've done an extraordinary job, and I think Ron Dennis has done a fantastic job, and under very, very difficult circumstances.
Yeah, I think
he's had to deal with two feuding drivers. He's had to deal with a whole lot of weird stuff, kind of from the FIA with the whole Spygate thing, the Stepney Gate,
horrible.
Which I do not get, and we're not going to go into that now.
Again.
Raikkonen deserved to win the Drivers' Championship. Ferrari did not deserve to win the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. You talked about respect. Alonso deserving respect. Well, you earn respect from your behaviour, and I don't think he managed to earn that. Right, now, this has been a big family event. We all stood round to watch this race, or sat round, and everyone wants to contribute to this programme. I've got some more text messages and stuff I want to do in a moment, plus we're going to hear from Richard Porter, who is somewhere in Scotland on a mobile phone. I'll be very interested to hear what Richard says about this.
Let's get him on the line.
You will get Richard on the line. But first, like I say, everyone's contributing to this. Even my two lads, who've recorded some jokes specially for this family edition of Gareth Jones on Speed.
I say. What does an F1 driver have for breakfast? Max Muesli! Actually, they usually have a breakfast of fresh fruit and oatmeal because the oats are complex carbohydrates which release energy into the system at a slow and sustained rate. As a professional athlete, every meal they eat is subject to strict nutritional planning. I say. Which F1 technical director can be found in the sea? Ross Brawn! Actually, unlike fellow F1 technical directors Adrian Newey and Patrick Head, who have either designed racing yachts or have taken part in transatlantic races, Ross Brawn is not a keen sailor. I say. Did you hear about the man who built a wooden car? It had wooden wheels, a wooden engine, and it wouldn't go. Wooden. Get it? Of course, there have been some wooden cars, you know, such as the Africa and the Morgan, which both have chassis made of wood. Ash in the case of the Morgan, and epoxy resin impregnated plywood in the case of the Africa. This is the Little Joneses on Sugar and E-numbers.
You're listening to Gareth Jones on Speed, almost live, the nearest thing you'll ever get to a live show, I would imagine. Usually we have a certain Richard Porter on this radio programme. Call it a radio show, we can call it a radio show without radio.
Call it what we like.
Yeah, we'll call it, well, that's our show. But unfortunately, Richard is elsewhere at the moment, and hopefully, if I can just get his number up in my phone, here we go. I'll get him on the phone. Let's put him on speakerphone.
Okay, let's go hands-free.
Oh, it's ringing. Speaker. Right.
Hello?
Richard, it's Gareth and Zog. You're live on Gareth Jones on Speed. How are you, mate?
Alright, mate, how are you? I'm in a pub.
That.
I'm going to stand outside the loos like some kind of filthy pervert in a velvet jacket. How are you, my friend?
Well, we're in two minds. We're disappointed, obviously, that Lewis didn't win, but we are happy that Alonso didn't win.
Yes, me too. But what a shock. I have to say cheers, by the way, because, of course, you've been giving me live updates throughout the afternoon, because I've been unavoidably detained doing something else for a birthday thing, so I missed the race, which is gutting.
Are you in Scotland somewhere? Did I imagine that?
No, I'm in swinging London town, just on fashionable Piccadilly. I was having afternoon tea, and now I'm in a pub. I was dealing with just not, listening to anything and watching anything and not finding out the result, but I just couldn't bear it. I had to know, and I almost, in one way, I didn't want to watch the race like I didn't want to watch the rugby yesterday because it's just almost too painful. So it was quite a nice way to find out the bad news.
It's
the middling news, the news that wasn't quite the Hamilton winning the championship, yay, thing that I was hoping for. But there we go.
It was excruciating in parts. Some of it was quite hard to watch.
I don't know, just listening to it, sort of second hand, but yes, what a time. What a time. I don't think I could have better to watch it, actually. I might have had to sort of flip over or go in the other room for a bit or something like that. You ever get that feeling when you watch something you're going to make it worse?
Oh, yes. I
personally can affect the outcome of a race.
I've genuinely had anxiety butterflies all day today waiting for this, and now it's over. I feel better. Obviously, I know I've had a glass of champagne, but that'll certainly help. But this is why we do it, Richard. And if we didn't care about who wins and who loses, it wouldn't be entertaining to us, would it?
No, exactly. I have to say, what a hell of a season, really, that's kept it going to the end. And as I know, it's been controversial for a number of reasons, but as an overall season, I think we'll look back on this one as one hell of a good one.
What do you think?
And I think we'll be talking about it for a long time to come.
I think we will. I think we can talk about it for a long time now, but we've got. I've got a pint sitting waiting for me. So.
Before you go,
you better get back to that.
Yeah, go and talk about your pint. Before you go, Richard, what do you think Ron will say to Lewis and will say to Alonso now?
That's a good question. I think he'll say, "Never mind, son. It was a long shot. No one wins it in their first season. Now you've got the hunger that you really needed. It would have been too easy for you if you'd won it in the first season. now you know what it's like not to win, and you come back next year fighting fit, and I think he'll say to Alonso, get out of my factory.
That's exactly what I thought you'd say. Richard Porter for Sniff Battle. We'll see you here for the next one, mate, yeah?
Catch you for the next show.
One more question for you, Gareth.
Yeah, mate.
Do you think Kimi will have a drink tonight to celebrate?
It's not his sort of thing, I don't think, Kimi. No.
Early night.
I don't think he'll drink more than the gross national product of Finland.
No, I don't think they'll have to phone out to Sweden to get extra supplies, but who knows, anyway.
They're going to be peeling him off a floor somewhere.
Well, you know what they say?
A pint to Finland.
In order to finish first, you probably have to be Finnish. See you, Richard.
Take care.
See you later, mate.
Bye. Wow. Yeah, well, I think he's taking it very well, because I know Richard was as emotionally tied up in Lewis winning as we were.
Yeah, no,
and I'm sure everyone listening was as well.
Well, and I mean, I think, there is a sense in which, it would have been too easy, but I don't really feel that. I really wanted him to win, and I don't kind of personally, feel that, it would be better for him as a person to wait for his first championship. No, I wanted him to come in and win the championship in his first season, which he absolutely would have done if he'd come in a couple of laps earlier in the last race. He'd have won the championship. If he hadn't had the gearbox problem in this race, he'd have won the championship.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
And I think it's a crying shame. We've still had a great season, but there we go.
Can I ask, gentlemen, Keith's here with us, providing additional acoustic support, a polite round of applause for our nearly world champion, the runner-up in his first ever season. A round of applause, please, Keith. Thank you very much indeed. Lewis Hamilton.
Well done, Lewis.
That's it. Thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with another Gareth Jones on Speed soon. I'm going to leave you with three things, in fact. In order to get this show out quickly, what we had to do was to record two national anthems. The national anthem of the driver who won the World Championship. Now, of course, we recorded Lewis Hamilton, the British national anthem, but we also recorded the Finnish national anthem for Kimi Raikkonen. And I was hoping I would only going to have to play the Lewis Hamilton one, but I think I'm actually going to play them both. I'll play Lewis first, because Lewis didn't win, and we'll finish on the national anthem of Finland. But before all that, the final word goes to a text I received once again from Raf at the end of the race. He said, in order to help us all commiserate, we should all do two things. Open up a helpline here on Gareth Jones on Speed, so you can phone in and talk about how you're dealing with this disappointment.
Trained counsellors will be available.
That's us. And finally, the last word also goes to Raf, who says, anyway, I heard that F1 2008 is what it's really all about. And I think he's right. We'll be there soon. Say goodbye,
Looking
Zog.
forward to it. Goodbye, Zog.
And congratulations to Kimi Raikkonen and Lewis.
God save our Lewis Hamilton, long live our Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. Oj, mamy co mi syndwa, co jest na kurtajnie. Tak słuchaj, kurwa, i leza rata, rampa. Tuj chodzi na zapłon dojdę, a kiedyś
This episode of Gareth Jones on Speed was made entirely on the 21st of October 2007 by Whiz Bang. You can subscribe to this podcast at www.garethjones.tv.